Hello everyone, good morning. So now we have one of our brothers here, Omoyeni. That's an amazing name. So
Exactly.
I am so happy and I'm so glad that you are here yourself to share your experience about study in Finland, how you went through your application process for the program and your residence permit application. So now, can you tell us just briefly about yourself, where you're from, where are you at the moment, what are you studying? Just a brief introduction.
Thank you so much, Tabi. My name is Omoyeni Johnson. I'm a Nigerian and I'm from Ekiti State, one of the most beautiful states in Nigeria, so to say. So I'm a student in Finland at the moment, and I actually came in from Poland, where I finished my studies before I now apply for another studies here in Finland. So I think that's the few things I need to say about myself at the moment. As we progress, you get.
Okay, thank you very much. So just for us to have a clue, like where do you study your school, your program? Where do you study at the moment? What can you say about this program?
Yeah, at the moment, I'm studying at Yedu Opisto here in Pavesi, Finland. And my program in Finnish is it's called Rakenus, which simply means building and construction in English when you translate it. So that's the course I'm currently studying, and I think it's a very nice course because it offers a lot of future prospects. Every day there are a lot of developments going on all over the globe. So building and construction industry is actually a very vast industry that has a lot of prospects, and I think that's why I actually chose this course, and it's pretty good.
Okay, so just so for other international students, like were you required any Finnish proficiency or it's entirely in English?
Yeah, the program is actually in Finnish, and it demands that someone should be proficient in Finnish. Although I was very, very fortunate to get my, because as at the point I applied, I didn't know anything in Finnish, as in I was just a novice. But fortunately, I was absorbed, and the plan was that once I come in, the first 6 months, I would train on Finnish language, and by then I should have been able to, as in, be competent enough to continue my studies in Finnish language. So that's it. But there are other schools which actually offer a lot of courses in English, just like business school in Helsinki, Vamis, and some other schools. So just 10%, let's say 10% of the vocational schools offer their courses in English, while about 90% offer their courses in Finnish. So that's it.
Yeah, I think I really applaud you for like not being like, oh, they require Finnish language. I'm not gonna apply because I think that it's so amazing. That's why I'm so interested in your journey because it's amazing how you still decided to go ahead and apply for this program, even though your Finnish proficiency was zero. So if you're watching this and you're thinking like, oh, I can't make this attempt, it's that's why I always say just apply. You never know, just apply. And if you need more information, just reach out to the universities. I think you were so proactive, as to apply for this program, even without like, without having the major requirement, which was Finnish language. So I really applaud you for that. And this is like kind of a lesson for everyone. If you are interested about a particular program, if you are interested about a particular university, don't be scared to make that move. It's very important. So my next question now brings me to how do you come in contact with me, with Tappy? How did it all started? Because you're in Poland, I didn't have any clue about you, or yeah. So just tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, Tabi is a great personality. I must confess that, just to open up from that point. At the point when I got the admission, actually, I didn't know how to go about the application process because was actually entirely a new country, which I've never attempted applying to. So being someone who is always curious to get information from the right source. When I mean the right source, you have to identify the right people you source your information from. So when I checked through the YouTube channels, I watched some couple of videos, and Tabi's own actually came out so outstanding, and I was like, this is the right person I need to contact for me to get the right information. So from there, I checked a Facebook page. I typed the name and I sent a friend request. Unfortunately, she accepted my friend request, and I told her about what actually drew me to contacting her. So I told her about my plan to apply for the Finnish residence. And from there, she started to offer some valuable advice to me. And at some point during the application, she was actually very instrumental through God's grace to me getting the Finnish residence, because the response I got, or the feedback I got from the Finnish immigration at some point, demanding for some documents, which I never knew how to go about gathering or making those documents. She was the one that guided me through. I can read some of the response from the Finnish immigration if she would want me to do that anyway. But if not, then we can still proceed. Maybe during the interview, we can still get back to that.
Okay. Like I mentioned at the beginning, when you shared about you applying for this program, I think you're proactive, because just like you explained, you didn't just subscribe and then you end there. You subscribed, you watch the videos, you also reach out to me, which I think a lot of students here, they've reached out to me. But the thing with you was like you were not just reach out from a place where help me apply for school, help me apply for residence permit. You were so specific, and that also helped me to help you, because if you just say apply, help me apply for school, I don't know what do you actually need. Or you just say I want to study in Finland, I don't really know. But you were so, you were so focused, you knew what you wanted, and you specified the kind of help you wanted. So that really made it easy for me to help you. One thing I shared with you was like, I remember the last time you said that when they asked for like extra documents, I was like, oh my God, I'm so tired, I'm so busy. And I just ignore it. But funny enough, I'm a Christian, I'm a child of God. So, and all of these things that I do it from a place of the love of God. And the Holy Spirit just kind of like it was just like get up and reply, help this guy. So deep down, I didn't want to, seriously, because I was so busy at that time. But I'm like, but why is this particular case so focused? And also I was like a little bit scared. What if I put in all this and then they give you a negative decision? But God was like, I just do it. And I'm so grateful, like you mentioned, that by the grace of God. And that's one thing I want to point out there. If I'm assisting you, is not sure that, okay, because Tabi is assisting me, I must get a positive decision. No, you put in your effort and you leave the rest for God. So I'm so happy you mentioned that by the grace of God. Yeah, I think you can just read a little bit of like what was this additional document that the Finnish immigration requested from you.
Oh, okay. Just a minute. Let me just get through the documents. So the first additional document they requested was the evidence of my means of support. But you should remember, during the first time I submitted the application, I already submitted those documents. So one would wonder why they were still trying to ask for it again. And at that point, at my first attempt, the normal stuff of asking some friends to help out with the one you have to push inside your account. And after it, you've already returned the money to them. And you are now scared that, well, if you now go ahead again to put another money inside the same account, the inflow and outflow will show that, okay, at this point in time, you pushed in there's a 10,000 slot inside the account, and the same day you withdraw it. So there's something fishing. So at this point, I was a little bit as in scared of what I should do at that point. So what I was able to do through the advice of Tabi and some other friends I contacted, I abandoned that account at that point. So I used a fresh account where my sponsor pushed in the money, and I could actually prove the relationship between me and my sponsor, just like Tabi advised. She told me what my sponsor should do in the letter. She should write a letter that clearly states our relationship, the documents to support our relationship, and all those stuff. They actually helped me to go through the process. So another thing I would like to point out, which is something everybody watching me should be careful about, is the point that I was coming in for a program that they consider as a skill-based program anyway, which was maybe a little bit rated below a university graduate program. You understand, but as Nigerians, and we are always looking for a better place. So any way that you can use to enter any country is good and fine, which so far is a legal means. So you can always realign and do other stuff. But what I would like to point out is that they asked me, why would you, who is a graduate, want to study something that is lower, a little bit lower, something skill-based? That was actually a very difficult point for me, because I needed to come out with something tangible to be able to convince these immigration officers. Because if you are not able to convince them, then you already lost your chances. So I was able to tell them that, okay, I'm a graduate. I acknowledge that. So I'm not lying about that. That's the first point. The second point is that I've worked in Poland and I've seen the difference, especially when I was in Poland. I was fortunate to work in a ski-based company. So I saw the pace. It was quite different from what is obtainable in Nigeria, where I come from. You understand? So these were the points I made to them, that coming to Finland as someone who wants to come and learn a particular skill doesn't really make any difference. Maybe you're a graduate or you are not a graduate. It's all about your passion. It's not about the age. It's not about your level of education. It's just about your passion. And your passion can come up at any point in time. You can realize your passion at any point in time. It doesn't matter, maybe you're in your 30s, you're in your 40s, you're in your 50s. It's all about you being able to identify what you want at that point, and you go for it. So I was able to bring all these points together to tell them that, okay, I'm able to identify that Europe as a skill, especially in Finland, is something that is highly rated. So I would actually want to learn the skill in Finland so as to be able to better position myself for future opportunities. I think these were the things that actually also added to helping me in getting this what's it called, this residence permit.
Yeah. I think you've really explained it so well, and I'm happy you mentioned about the bank statement, because a lot of students they get rejections because of this bank statement. And it's not about the money. You don't need to put 20,000 euros in your bank account. The most important thing is your sponsor needs to prove your relationship, so if it's your sister, because in your case it was your sister, right? So your sister mentioning some key things, like stating the name of your parents, all those things, to prove that you are sisters, like he or she is family. And also the fact that they could actually see everything about her. So that was why they were not like, okay, there's just no way. This is the sister. She has proven that this is the sister. She puts her payslip and everything, bank statement and everything. That's the key thing when it comes to this sponsorship. It's not about your sponsor having so much money. No. It's just that you need to prove that your sponsor is your sister, your brother, your father, your mother, and then your sponsor also needs to prove where they work, how much they earn, and stuff like that. So I'm really glad you mentioned that. And then the one thing you also pointed out about explaining, because that's true. A lot of us, we have bachelor's degrees already, and now we are coming from vocational schools, so the passion is the most important thing. You don't need to lie that you don't, oh, I don't have bachelor's degree already, or you don't need to lie. And when I read your one thing I also want to point out here is that you didn't ask me, oh, Tabi, can you write a motivation letter for me? Oh, Tabi, can you explain this for me? You already had something, and I remember when we're going through it together, I said, wow, this is amazing, but we just need to adjust some few things. So which means you were passionate about this program, and you were like, you already know what you want. So in
Exactly.
that, when someone, after reading your whatever you wrote there, I was like, wow, if I'm the immigration officer, I will buy this, because
Yeah.
you explain it so well. And just a piece of advice to you out there, during the it can be group interview, in the entrance exam, they want to see how passionate you are about this program, about this university. It may be any motivation letter for the master's program. They want to see your passion. They want to see if you actually really love this program, or you're just coming to Finland. So I think that's one thing you explained so well. It was so explicit that
Thank you.
I just had to adjust, some few things, but you already have it. But if you didn't have anything, I am not versed with the program you want to apply for. So there's no way I would have say, okay, this is what we have to write. No, but you were versed with this program. You have knowledge about the present situation in Nigeria when it comes to this program, and even in Poland. And now you kind of like balance it by saying Finland is top when it comes to these
Exactly.
big countries that you've lived in. So obviously the immigration officer will buy it. So it's not about high sounding words, you lying. Just be truthful. And when we
Exactly.
are truthful, God also help us. That's the truth. You don't need to lie about things. Tell the
Doing the
person why
right
you want to study. So it's very important. I
thing.
really thank you for throwing more light on that, so that others will learn. Just a little bit about your your journey. So how long? I just wanted to like just the time frame. When did you apply? The time frame. When did you apply for a residence permit? When did you go for your interview in the embassy? When were you asked for the supplementary documents? And when were you granted this positive decision?
Okay, I would, in response to the question you just asked, I started looking out for this program around June when I was trying to look out for how I was going to leave Poland. So I checked through the internet because I got to know about this vocational school stuff through one of my friends in Poland, Alex Connect, because I just heard about the issue of Finland, how people come in and they get better opportunities to learn new things and the like. So I contacted him that, Alex, what are the ways I could actually use as in to come into this place? Then he now advised that the best way was this vocational stuff, that he has a couple of friends who have been able to use it to come to this place and they are doing well in the course. They are passionate about the course and they know stuff like that. So I got good about vocational schools in Finland. So that was where I came to know about my school, and I checked some contact on the website. So that's good. That's one of the key things whoever that is watching me should actually take note about. The internet is there for you as a resources, which you need to exploit so well. You need to be detailed about it. So I checked through the Google, then I was able to seek some contacts in my school. Then I wrote some few emails. So fortunately, I got a response from one of them, and she explained to me that, okay, we have actually seen your CV. We are interested in you, but the criteria is the Finnish language. Will you be able to learn the language? And I said, it's not a problem. It's always good to be up and doing when it comes to taking up new challenges. It's one of the ways to grow in life. So after that, I did the application. I got my admission in July. So the same July, I also applied for the residence permit. I think that should be the last week of July, thereabouts. So I also did the fingerprint around that July as well. So this additional documents issue came up around August 3rd, if I'm very precise about the date, August 3rd or 4th, thereabouts. So, and they stipulated there that they were giving me just 10 days to respond to this. That if I didn't respond to it, any feedback or what's it called, decision that they take is the final. So that was when I contacted Tabby, and she actually helped me out. So I was able to respond, I think on the 7th day, thereabouts, which was on Sunday. So on Monday, I was trying to catch up with my train. On Monday, just few hours into the next day, and I just got the alert that I have an update on the Enter Finland website. I checked; it was a positive decision. That was on the 8th of August, to be precise. So, and just 1 week thereabout. So that was how everything went.
And yeah, so that's the thing. When they ask for an additional document, it's more of like, or additional explanation. It's like, okay, we've seen this, it's clear, but we just need more clarification
Yeah.
on this thing. So just imagine if you would have added something or tried to lie about something. So they just wanted to know if you like just double check and you really delivered very well. So there's no need to hold on. Let's give him the residence permit.